an issue as we go through the evening and into the night as well. Already a couple of dense fog advisories in place for several portions of Kellerland, which we'll get to in a moment. For what it's worth, we'll have lows in the 20s, some 30s, though, out to the west. For Christmas Eve day, well, we get some sunshine out to the west, a mix of sun and clouds, though, to the east. 30s East River, 40s and 50s, though, out to the west. If you're looking for winter's chill, keep looking. We'll talk about that coming up, but until then, First to Four starts right now.
Live from Kellerland Media Group. Kellerland News, first at 4.
A Watertown man is charged in connection to an officer-involved shooting in the Yankton High School parking lot. We have the details straight ahead.
Plus, we'll tell you what we know about an explosion and fire in Belle Fourche.
And one half of a South Dakota comedy duo has died. We'll look back at their career. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Lauren Solik. Sioux Falls police are investigating after a truck was stolen near Whittier Middle School.
Authorities say that it happened just before 10 o'clock on Friday night in the area of 6th Street and Indiana Avenue. A man was walking to his truck when two others approached him.
He said there's a couple of guys that came up to him, threatened him with a knife. They ended up having him get inside the vehicle, and then they drove it. They were trying to get some more items from him. Eventually they got some cell phones from him and then dropped him off alongside the roads.
No injuries were reported. The truck has not been found. Police are looking for the two men, but no description was available. A Watertown man has been indicted on 4 charges in connection with an officer-involved shooting in the parking lot of the Yankton High School earlier this month. Andrew Jondal was indicted on 2 felony counts of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, 1 misdemeanor count of possession of a firearm while intoxicated, and more. An investigation by the South Dakota DCI found that 2 Yankton police officers were justified in shooting Jondal, who demonstrated a clear and present danger to law enforcement and the public. Jondal received 4 non-life-threatening gunshot wounds and was hospitalized.
A grand jury has indicted a Yankton man in connection with a fatal stabbing on December 13th. 19-year-old Theodore Kranig Jr. has been indicted on 1 count of second-degree murder and 1 count of first-degree manslaughter in connection with the death of a Yankton man. Both charges carry a maximum sentence of mandatory life in prison. His next court appearance is scheduled for January 2nd.
1 person was hurt after an explosion in Belle Fourche over the weekend. Belle Fourche police say it happened just before midnight local time Saturday. The fire had quickly spread to multiple homes before firefighters arrived. Crews were able to stop the fire from spreading further. Belle Fourche officers helped several residents evacuate. On Sunday, Belle Fourche police accepted donations for the family impacted by the fire. Authorities shared these pictures of the event. You can see people brought toys, blankets, and other gifts to donate. Authorities say the support made the event truly special.
All right, let's get a check of our weather forecast. We are getting this close to Christmas.
I know. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, though.
No, not at all.
In some areas, it doesn't look like it, for that matter, as snow has been pretty difficult to come by. Sioux Falls is almost 10 inches below average for the season with snow already. And while we do have moisture to talk about later this week, yeah, the temperature is just not going to be cooperating. So if you want snow, I can point you about 1,000 miles to the east. We'll talk about that in a little bit. There's Falls Park, though, looking beautiful on this Monday. 32 with a northwest wind at 6 miles per hour. Should be a nice evening to check out the lights, but it might get a little bit murky. We're going to be dealing with fog in multiple locations, like what we are right now in Webster. If you look really carefully, you can see a couple of light poles there on the left and right-hand side of your screen, respectively. Webster has been dealing with fog for a better part of the day, and that visibility has been, to put it kindly, poor at times. We're at 21, by the way, in Aberdeen, 39 for Mobridge, but notice where we've had the sunshine, not to mention no snow on the ground. It's been warmer. 48 for Phillip, 52 Rapid City, Spearfish, and Buffalo, both at 50 apiece. 40 Chamberlain, 27, though, in Mitchell, as well as Worthington. Now, there are the dense fog advisories. They are in place through the overnight hours and even into Tuesday morning, especially toward the likes of Chamberlain, Mitchell, Madison, Worthington, and then down toward Yankton for that matter. We'll see if this gets filled in overnight. Would not surprise me if the James River Valley at some point would be included in this, but just be advised that visibility may drop below a quarter mile at times, and it's going to get a little difficult to see where you're going. For tomorrow, as we head into Christmas Eve day, it's going to be at least a little bit on the chilly side, with 30s to around 40 for high temperatures to the southeast. Up in the northeast, 20s and low 30s, even some mid-30s not out of the question toward Huron, Miller, and Aberdeen. But once again, West River, we're milder, 40s and 50s for highs. We also have a little more sunshine out that way as well. Updates on your Christmas Day forecast and what comes around afterward are all coming up as we head through the hour.
All right, thanks a lot, Adam. Terry Ree, one half of the music comedy duo Williams and Ree, passed away on Saturday. It's not clear what he died of. Ree and Bruce Williams were comedy partners for more than 50 years. Known as the Indian and the White Guy, the two paired up while attending Black Hill State College in Spearfish. Coming up later on KELOLAND News First at 4, we're going to take a trip back in time and revisit a story that we did with the pair as they were rising to national fame.
President-elect Donald Trump is previewing what's to come in his second term at the White House. He gave a speech over the weekend to young supporters at the Turning Point USA conference. Washington correspondent Raquel Martin has some of the big changes Trump is pledging.
President-elect Donald Trump is promising to enact what he calls a common-sense agenda. He took on culture war issues, including rolling back transgender policies.
And January 20th will truly be Liberation Day in America. Is that okay? Liberation Day.
President-elect Donald Trump is counting down the days until he takes back the White House. Over the weekend, he pledged to enact a sweeping agenda starting at the southern border.
We will begin the largest deportation operation in American history.
He also pledged to stop the woke. He told the crowd he'll make it official U.S. policy to have just two genders.
Get transgender out of the military and out of our elementary schools and middle schools.
And vowed to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion policies in the public and private sector.
In America, we believe in the merit system.
Democrats, meanwhile, are also gearing up for Trump's return.
I think we're in for some really rough sailing.
On CNN's State of the Union, Delaware Democratic Senator Chris Coons said Trump could face obstacles even from within his own party.
It's going to be difficult for them to pass much of President-elect Trump's ambitious agenda on straight party line votes. Democrats will have to be in the mix.
Last week, House Republicans, unable to unite behind a spending plan, were forced to work with Democrats to avoid a government shutdown. And that comes even after we saw Trump and Elon Musk publicly pressure Republicans to ditch a bipartisan spending deal. Democrats are expecting another grueling inter-party fight among Republicans when they have to pass another government funding bill come March. For now in Washington, Raquel Martin, back to you.
Coming up after the break, the scams to look out for during the holiday